finally filming our trip report from our trip in December. Because we're stuck at home today because it's Minnesota and it's ridiculously cold. We have a wind chill of minus 51 today, which is why you might be able to hear water in the background because half of our pipes are frozen. Anyway, got some notes here, and bear with us because we've never done a video like this before, so we're probably not going to be very good at it.
Be nice and boring for everybody out there.
Probably. We're wearing our shirts that we bought at the Christmas party.
Hey.
And I'm wearing some ears, which is kind of a little bit deceiving because I didn't wear ears
At all.
a single day on this trip, which is really weird. But anyway, so we went from Thursday, November 29th to Sunday, December 7th. That was the whole trip. We drove, so the first 2 days and then the last 2 days we're actually driving. We were in Disney World from Saturday to Saturday. What did you think about driving?
It was, I don't know, it was a chore, I guess I would say. But it wasn't too bad, and it wasn't super fun either. You
No,
know,
I would agree.
there were parts of it that were fine. Most of the first day was fine, and it was until we hit Nashville, really. That
Yeah,
was pretty bad. The traffic there was
traffic
really bad.
was rough. Mm-hmm.
Atlanta wasn't fun either, but at least we got to use the HOV lane, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, that was
And
really
that
helpful.
helped through a little bit of the downtown, but
That was helpful.
coming out it was still slow. But at least they've got like 4 or 5 lanes there. You know, Nashville is pretty small.
We were surprised.
I was surprised, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't expect it to be as crazy. And Chattanooga, I think, was the
Chattanooga
other
was pretty bad
place
too.
where there was kind of a bottleneck. And those two were both at random time of day,
Yeah.
It
But we hit
wasn't-
Atlanta like Friday at
rush hour.
rush hour, so that was to be
expected.
expected, yeah. But yeah, it
Yeah,
was all right.
I don't know how I feel about doing it again.
It was nice for the packing, and you could bring as many bags and
Yes,
whatever you wanted.
yes.
So that was kind of nice.
Yes.
But you had to stop and unload, and then load up again the next morning. And
And if you've
it
watched
was
any
nice
of
to
our...
be by yourself and comfortable that way.
It was,
But-
yeah. But if you've watched any of our vacation vlogs, which I'll throw the links in below to those, we stayed in some delightful hotels.
Yeah, the first one was
Especially
bad.
the first one on the way down there. Because you don't want to spend a ton of money on your hotels when you're traveling, when you're doing a Disney trip, because they're not super cheap. So, but anyway, yeah, so I think we would do it again.
I would do it again, yeah. But I wouldn't, like, I don't know. If it was driving through the country on the highways the most of the time, that's fine. It just kind of, when you hit the cities, it kind of stinks a little. So maybe
Yeah.
if you could avoid those. And if you had more time to stop and relax, that would be...
Yeah, so
little better.
my sister and her family, they go to Florida all the time and they drive, but they take 2 full days to drive. Where Thursday we left after work, so that was not a full day, and then all day Friday. So they have a little bit more leeway.
Yeah, it was a long day in the middle.
So yeah,
That was-
17 hours I
yeah.
think. 17 hours was the longest day on both sides.
Well, I guess a little tiring.
So yeah, I mean, I guess to me the verdict on driving was, if it's going to be a souvenir heavy trip where you want to get a lot of stuff, this is, we wanted to bring home a lot of specialty things like snacks from all the Epcot pavilions and stuff like that, then it's worth it because you don't have to worry about weights of suitcase and all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, I don't
You
know.
can bring as much food as you want, really.
Yeah,
So,
and your
but
toiletries.
it's not like you can't buy things down there once you get there.
True.
Or Amazon Prime it now.
True.
But yeah, we brought a whole thing of water, a couple things of Powerade, and
Yep.
all that stuff, and the snacks. But
Yep. So I guess, in my opinion, I would recommend driving if those things are important to you. To be able to bring your own food and to bring home your own souvenirs and all of that.
yeah,
Aside from that, I couldn't really recommend it over flying. It wasn't a significant cost savings with just 2 of us. Now, if you're a big family, it might be a significant cost
Yeah.
savings. But for just 2 of us, cost
I mean,
really
it would
wasn't
save us a little bit.
a little.
But you also put the miles on your car, and things like that. But
So, yeah. And then we stayed at Pop Century.
yep,
This was the first time we've ever stayed at Pop Century. Okay.
not a good start.
No, not a good start. So, first of all, the room was gorgeous.
Yeah, that's really nice.
They're newly refurbished. It was
It
beautiful.
was clean. It was modern. Had all the plug-ins that
Decent
you want.
size.
USB, hardwood or the laminate floors, whatever they are.
Really, really
Pull
nice.
down bed so you could get that out of the way if you wanted to.
Yep, and have your table. That was great.
Extra bed, I should say. Yeah.
The food court was great. I mean, it was a food court, but it was good. We liked the food we had there. The
Yep.
store was nice. That was all fine. What happened was we were going at the same time as the Pop Warner football thing, whatever that is. It's a bunch of little kids that play football. And we requested early check-in, which you don't always get, but it was well after 3, and we just decided to go up and talk to concierge about what was going on. And she said our room wasn't ready yet. They had us on like the top floor of building 4 or something like that is what the room they had us set for. And we said, well, are there any other rooms available? And she put us in a different room that was available. We should have just waited.
Yeah, that's partially our fault. We should have
It is, but
just waited.
I'm frustrated that she didn't explain to us what I'm
Yeah.
about to tell you, which you already know if you've watched our vacation vlogs. The building we were in was the farthest away, which isn't really an issue for us. But it was 100% Pop Warner football guests.
Yeah. Which
And-
you expect kids and stuff in that thing, but
Yeah.
not when it's groups like that and then they have some other activity that they're doing. They're up late and
They never.
running around.
I'm not kidding. They never slept.
Yeah.
No matter what hour of the morning I woke up. I mean, it resulted, I guess is the way to say that. It resulted in me buying earplugs, and it was the only reason I slept the second half of the trip. It was over the top. It was unacceptable even for a large group.
Yeah.
with kids.
And we've stayed at the movies before,
Music,
before, All Stars.
no issues.
And they were fine, you know. We had a dance team that was there out practicing in the parking lot, and
they were a little
all
noisy,
over,
but-
but they weren't too bad. But it was like, soon as we pulled up to where we were, the building, you could just tell right away because they were all out running around, and
And even the adults were out like hollering and running at all
Yeah,
hours of
standing,
the night.
yeah,
It was a
maybe
it was
just a bad group. who
yeah, it
knows,
was a
but-
bad experience. It soured me on Pop Century
Yeah.
for the immediate time being, but anyway. And it's not super important for us because we're park people.
Yeah,
at least
so
right
we're not
now.
hanging out
No.
at the resort. a
We
lot,
just sleep there. So once I had the earplugs, we were gold. We slept, no problem. Bring a sound machine, bring earplugs. That is my advice. Okay, so on to some favorites from the trip. You know what we should talk about first that I didn't put here? We became annual pass holders on this trip.
That was a big favorite.
That was a big favorite. We'll
And
talk
that
about
was-
that first.
That was super easy, and it went
Oh my gosh.
great.
Yeah.
'Cause before we checked in, we went straight to Disney Springs, and the
Guest services.
guest services opened at 10, I think it was.
Yep.
And we were there right at the opening.
Mhm.
There were a few people ahead of us, but we got in. I think we were out by
It was
like quarter after, 20 after.
Yeah, it was less than 15 minutes, the whole process from walking
Yeah.
in the building to being done with
They just
everything.
switched our current tickets over to annual passes, and
Yep, they just credit,
Sorry.
they credit the cost of the annual pass
That
for
you've
what you've
already-
already paid for your
Yep.
tickets. And that was it. They were active, they were ready to go.
yeah, and that was super easy, and they were great there.
It was amazing. And I'm sure some people are like, what the heck? You live in Minnesota and you have annual passes to Disney World? We've already we've well more than half paid for them
Yeah.
with one trip. We entered the parks 5 times on this trip, and we need to enter them a total of 8 to have paid for this.
Yeah.
But we also saved. I was going to get all the receipts out, and I didn't do that. But we've also saved. We saved over $100 on merchandise and food discounts. So you need to take that into account too. And we also used the Photo Pass way more than I thought we would.
Yeah. So
We
got some
really
pictures
enjoyed
from
that. So there's also the park hopping benefit, which we didn't use on this trip. But that's
But we are
another.
going to.
Yeah, we will. Stay tuned for the rest of this
Four-part
video.
challenge coming up.
Uh-huh,
Oh,
uh-huh.
teaser.
You gotta watch this whole boring trip report to get to that part, though. Anyway, yeah, so I would say if you go to Disney World more than once a year, even like a long trip and a short trip, whatever, if you're going to be there twice a year, consider this. Totally
Yeah.
100% worth it. We haven't completely decided if we're going to renew it yet, but I feel like I can't imagine not having it unless we get to a point where we're not going to go twice a year anymore. But anyway, yeah, not enough good things to say about that. You get through the annual pass holder lines. You know, you just get benefits. Even the night we went to the Christmas party, because we had that, we didn't have to wait till 4 like everybody else to get in. It's just, there's
There
a
was
lot of
huge
perks.
line for getting into that at 4, so we can go in whenever we want, and then
And for anybody who stays off-site, there's also the perk of you still get free parking in the parks, where you don't, and that's $25 a day.
Yeah.
That's a big savings. So, totally worth it. Okay, now on to the favorites. Favorite ride of this trip?
It's got to be probably this trip was Tower of Terror, just because we rode it 4 times?
4 times.
4 times that one day, and every time was good. I mean, we love it already, but just because we were able to get on it a lot, I think only one time we waited. It was all fast passes.
It was all fast passes
We were
other
able
than
to
once.
get,
Yep.
so-
And the time without the fast pass was in the morning.
It was short.
Yeah, when it was short. Sorry, I'm sitting weird now, but my legs get restless.
But it's a great ride anyway. But we just did this a lot this trip, so it was fun. The whole memory of that, doing it so many times, was fun.
It was really awesome. My favorite ride on this trip was Flight of Passage. And I know, everyone, Flight of Passage, everybody's favorite ride. But it wasn't, for me, it wasn't solely because of the ride itself. It is a lot because of the ride itself, because it's amazing. But it was the first time I had ridden it, and everything leading up to it had told me that I wasn't going to ride it. I was too big for it, and it was going to make me motion sick. But at the last minute,
It was really the last minute. We were sitting there waiting for our fast pass.
I was getting ready to take my magic band off and give it to him so he could
It
just
was
go
like
through and do
15
both fast
minutes,
passes.
and we were standing there, or just sitting outside the ride waiting for it to time, and then he decided to go check the seat out.
Yep. And the seat is right out in the middle of everything, so I was a little self-conscious, and I saw a couple other people do it, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do it. And, oh my gosh, if you're questioning, you need to just do it. The cast member was so nice. She was very honest. She told me I was right on the line between fitting and not fitting, and that she thought since we had a fast pass, I should go for it. And I went for it, and it was no big deal. Again, we talk about this a lot in our vacation vlog, but all the cast member had to do was give the back thing a little push, and I was fine. So, and I'm not small. So if I could do it, most people can do it. I don't know about height-wise and stuff with the leg restraints, but yeah, so that was sort of conquering for me. So Flight of Passage had to be my favorite one for this trip. Favorite snack?
That's tough. I guess I like the Cheshire Cat place. I like the Cheshire Cat tail, which is really good, but
Really good.
the little Slurpee or slushy they have.
The
there.
Wonderland slush.
Yeah, Wonderland slush. That was probably one of the better things.
It was like berry and grape, I think, or something mixed together.
Yeah.
And
that
then
was
it
really good.
came with a candy-coated straw. Super good.
Yeah, that was good. That was probably a highlight.
Yeah, that would have been up there for me too. My favorite snack also had to do with a moment. So it was frozen lemonade. I know, super boring. But he was riding Rock and Roller Coaster, and the line was taking longer than we thought it was going to. And it was hot out that day, so I went and got a frozen lemonade, and it was the best dang thing I've ever had. And we ended up getting
Which led
frozen
to, like,
lemonades
4
throughout
more,
the...
yeah.
Yeah. So that was my favorite snack of this trip, for sure. How about favorite meal?
There's a couple of them.
We had some good dining experiences.
Yeah. I'd say runner-up probably was Via Napoli. That was good. The food was really good.
Delicious.
The atmosphere was fine.
It was fine.
Right.
Yep.
It wasn't anything super special.
No,
So
but it was
so-
nice. It was a nice place.
the food was probably one of the best that we had. Well, there's another one too, isn't there? I forget.
Oh, there's so many on this trip.
That probably is third then, because the Edison was really fun.
The Edison was great.
That was a great atmosphere, and it was good food. But that's a really cool place. It's really steampunky
Really neat.
kind of,
Yep.
big, open, and just has a cool feel to it.
And we went
And-
to our dinner was at 8 o'clock at night, so it was a little quieter.
Yep.
It was really
And the
fantastic.
food there was good. I had like mac and cheese, and what was the other thing I had? You had a grilled cheese.
I had a grilled cheese that was the size of my head.
Like
yeah, you had
oh,
mac
fries,
and cheese and
mac and cheese and
fries. Yep.
Carbs, ooh, carb loaded.
And then we had deviled eggs, a deviled egg
Yeah, those
appetizer,
kind of things,
the
a little
haystack
crispy-
things on them.
crispy, yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
But I say overall, the best memory I have is probably Sci-Fi Diner. It was
I agree. That's
a lot
mine too.
better than I thought.
That's mine too.
The whole atmosphere in there, of course, is cool. Like you're at the retro drive-in,
Oh, it was so fun.
and I just had like a turkey sandwich, but it was really good. I really liked it, and a shake.
I had a burger and fries,
Yeah.
but again, really good.
So
Not
the
your
food,
standard
the
Disney
food
burger.
might not have been as best. The best. It was good. I
It was
really
up there.
enjoyed it, but the atmosphere, the whole thing was great. It was
Yeah.
nice and dark in there and cool.
Cold.
Yeah.
Like it was 87 degrees that day, and we were sweating and hot. But by the time we were done eating lunch, we were almost uncomfortably cold.
Yeah.
But it was kind of nice because then walking back out into the heat of the park,
And the
felt good.
server was great. and-
great, super funny. They did a good job of getting everybody in. It just the whole thing was,
Yeah, that was
yeah,
a really good
it was a very good
experience.
experience. So yeah, that would be my.
I would definitely go back there.
Yep, me too. That would be my
I
favorite
would go
meal
back
too.
to those other places too, but
I would too, but I almost feel like Sci-Fi now might be a must-do if we're going to dine at Hollywood
Yeah.
Studios, because there isn't a lot else at Hollywood Studios
Yeah.
that really interests us.
and that kind of matches up with our likes and the
Yeah,
theming and
yeah,
all that.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. And the last favorites category I have is just moment. Like, your favorite, like, memory, this moment. That's much harder.
yeah, do you have one?
Wow, that's really tough.
That is hard.
Like, what's in my head right now is my moment from our previous trip. So we took a trip in January also, and we had a moment that I think we agree on our favorite moment from this trip. Our favorite time period was at the boardwalk.
Yeah.
We just went to the boardwalk on a really cool night. We had dinner at the Big River Grill there, and we explored the resorts. There was great. But from this trip, so honestly, I think my favorite memory of this trip might be Happily Ever After. We went all out for Happily Ever After this year. We started waiting at 5:45. The show's at 9.
This is a little
We'll never do it again.
overkill. Yeah.
But we wanted to film the whole thing. So we had the camera set up in a nice place. We got footage of the whole thing. Again, go back and watch our vacation vlogs because I have the whole thing there. But it was cold that night, which we love. We were wearing sweatshirts and jeans. And we sat there. We had Casey's for dinner. And he ran and got us like hot cocoa and popcorn for a snack. And plus Happily Ever After. I mean, come on. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So that right now, that I feel like that is my favorite moment from this trip.
It's hard because usually it's the moments that you don't plan.
Mm-hmm.
You plan so much on Disney trips. You get the fast passes, the dining reservations,
Mm-hmm.
and all that. And those are great memories too, but it's usually the ones that kind of sneak up on you that
Yeah,
are usually
for sure.
your warmest, fondest memories.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess I really liked the night of the Edison. It's calm. There was a lot of hectic parts.
A lot on this trip.
Trip that
Mm-hmm.
weren't my favorite. So
More than our previous trips.
yeah. But two things that. Well, the one where we were ready to leave Animal Kingdom the last day,
Oh, yes.
and we were just gonna plan to go to Disney Springs the last minute shopping, and leave the park around 5 or so. But we stopped and sat for a second. And I was just checking the fast passes out, and lo and behold, up pops a Flight of Passage one, which seems like never happens.
Never.
So I think that moment I remember a lot, and then so we made that fast pass, and then which was good because we hung around Pandora for nighttime,
Oh,
which
it's
is gorgeous.
Beautiful at
So I'm
nighttime.
glad we didn't miss out on that. So that and you being able to ride Flight of Passage and Everest, those were pretty big.
Yep. That was big.
As far as like a non-park one, I guess would be the wave breakfast
Yeah.
on Friday morning. Was Friday morning? No,
No, Thursday morning.
Thursday morning, before the Christmas party that day. That was nice and calm. It was better than I thought it was going to be. The
Yeah.
food was good.
Food
We
was
had a
good.
buffet,
Yep.
and they had tiny little silver cups that you could fill with syrup and bring to your table, which I loved. It's just a dumb little thing, but it's so fun to have.
Well,
like
it was
a,
cool.
Yeah, no one
Yeah.
else. I've never seen that before.
No.
But that was nice and relaxing. It was pretty quiet in there. The whole contemporary was pretty quiet. So that was a good moment for me.
Yeah, I would agree. That was fun too. Regrets?
There's a few now that we start thinking about them.
The resort for sure.
Resort for sure. We should have been more patient and just waited for our room. But before we've gotten there and we've gotten early check-in or right away check-in. So it was kind of different for us to wait. So we just should have waited and bummed around the resort. That's another thing. We didn't look around Pop Century at all because
We were
how
so
sour
spoiled.
we were
Yeah, we were
that
so.
first day.
The whole experience was so, like, spoiled from that beginning
so
thing
we
that
didn't
we
do
didn't.
it. We ate there before we checked in, but we didn't go back there after
No.
that, and we never looked at any of the year stuff.
No,
You know, we
No.
were in the 90s.
we were in the 90s.
We didn't even go to the 80s, which
No.
is that's my decade. So we didn't even go look around there, and we didn't see all the theming, which is kind of sad.
That was
So
unfortunate.
we let that ruin it for
Yep.
us.
Yep.
That one, and then never. So we walked up to Rock and Roller Coaster,
Oh, I forgot about this one.
and I got in line with one of our fast passes, and then it was temporarily shut down. So I was like, well, I don't want to sit here. So I went out, and then I came back up a little bit later.
Pretty quickly.
And we had another fast pass I could have used, but that was way backed up to the entrance. So the single rider line is usually quick. So I thought, well, I'll just jump in there. But always go with the fast pass. Because no matter, that went faster than the single rider line, for sure. Because I watched people get in fast pass later than I was in the single rider. And they just, buzzed by me later on. So
I wish I
would
could show you
definitely-
my text, my
Yeah.
texts from then, because I was waiting. I don't do Rock and Roller Coaster, so I was waiting for him, and it was shouldn't have done this. Wish I wouldn't have done this. Wish I wouldn't.
Yeah.
And then pretty soon it was 9 people in front of me in line. 5,
So
3,
if you have
1.
a fast pass, just use it. Don't think the other one. Just because it's long, it's still going to go faster.
Unless a cast member specifically, because sometimes the cast members will say single rider's way faster,
Yeah.
then maybe. But I
Well,
think
because of the shutdown, I think that had piled up too. So we had a few Epcot day too. We had the Spaceship Earth.
weird.
The fast pass line was way out of the queue, down the side of the Spaceship Earth, and then Seas
Nemo,
with Nemo
same
was
thing.
way out.
And when we
down the
asked the
line.
cast members, as we were saying before we ran out of time, because our camera will only do 29-minute spurts. Yeah, at Epcot, so Spaceship Earth and Nemo both had ridiculous fast pass queues. And when we asked the cast members if the rides had broken down, they said, no, it's just a busy day. That's baloney.
We've
Because
never seen fast pass. I mean, Nemo's out the building and down the sidewalk.
yeah, and nothing else was that busy. The
And they-
numbers everywhere else didn't bear
Yeah.
out for how busy it would have had to be.
They didn't take really that long.
No, but they were long.
in the end, but it seemed like
I'm wondering, and everybody in the
The line
lines
was
was
like,
like,
"What's going on?"
wait a minute, what? This is the Fast Pass line? My thought is, I wonder if there was some sort of a glitch in the Fast Pass system that day and more spit out than we're supposed to, or the times
something weird.
didn't
yeah.
adjust or something, because the rest of the day wasn't like that.
I mean, it was busy there. We didn't get on
It was
Living with the
busy.
Land because that was at least a half hour, 40 minutes most of the
It was
day.
busier than it's ever
Which is,
been.
that's weird, yeah.
One of my regrets, Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, yeah.
We hated it last time, and we were like, oh, it's not a long ride, let's just do it real quick. No, we hated it just as much.
Because we have family that went, and they said, oh,
They
you
love
just
it.
got a point, and your thing will buzz, and you'll get points or whatever.
We don't understand it.
I never felt the gun buzz at all, and
I watch everybody else love it, so I think there might be something wrong
I don't
with
know.
us.
we're just not grasping
But I
it or
don't
something.
think it's going to be a couple of trips before we try it again. I
Toy
think.
Story Mania, we love,
Love Toy Story
That's
Mania.
fun.
Yeah.
but and that's a shooter game, but I don't know. Buzz just
Yeah.
not for us, I guess.
No. My only other regret, and this isn't really a regret per se, but we wanted to see everything at Christmas again so bad. And it's beautiful at Christmas, don't get me wrong. But I don't know that I want to go back for a while at Christmas because it was insane. It was so busy. Like, I feel like weird because we went in 2016, the same week, and it was not busy. And we went in January, and it was not this busy.
It's just getting all the time
I
busier,
think it is getting all the time busy, but I don't know that I would go back at this time for a while. And there were certain things, like the Grand Floridian, we had never seen it before, and we went because we wanted to see the big gingerbread house. It was so mad there.
It was hard to enjoy.
Yeah, it almost wasn't. It wasn't not fun, but it wasn't as fun as it could have been, and
No.
we didn't stay there very long. We didn't really
that was
explore.
right before the Christmas party, so that probably could have been it. Everybody was there getting
Yeah.
ready for that.
And Disney Springs was mad. Every time we went to Disney Springs,
especially that we had to park in the or what was it? Disney.
I think it was some kind of cast member parking.
It was across the street. You had to go to because both of the garages and the parking lot were full, and so they were across the street. So
yeah, I don't know that I would call it a regret necessarily, but it's not the best time to go anymore like people used to say it was.
Yeah. We wanted to. Our plan was to get candy in every pavilion this year, which was fun.
Yep.
But we didn't. We were in such a focus to do that. I think we rushed through.
We missed out on World Showcase.
Yeah, we didn't spend enough time in World
That's
Showcase.
another regret for sure too. Yep. The one thing we did better on this trip, that I guess is maybe kind of a regret from past trips, I guess, is we were very flexible with our plans. We canceled 2 different breakfast reservations the night before because we were too tired. We weren't going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And
we made one later. We
and-
changed one. To be
yeah,
later.
so our Wave breakfast. So we originally had a reservation at the Wave for breakfast for 7:30 in the morning. We canceled that like 2 weeks before the trip, maybe a month before the trip, because we found to be our guest breakfast for like 8:30. And the night before, no way, we were too tired. We were too exhausted. It just didn't sound like fun to have to get to the park and get there. So we were able to rebook at the Wave for 9:55, or no, for 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
And when we woke up in the morning, we didn't want to go that early. So I was able to change it from 9 to 9:55. So check your app because that's not going to be true for every restaurant, but we were able to move it no problem. So the flexibility for sure is going to be in our next few trips. Yeah, I think that's it. So overall, where would you rank this trip in our 3? We've been 3 times.
Well, I think our best trip is our second one, the week-long.
January
Previous-
of 2018.
Yeah.
End of
Because it
January
was-
into February
It
is
felt
what it was.
busy then too, but if you look at it normally or
When comparison
the
to
whole
this
comparison, it was a little more quiet. I mean, I really liked our first time we went, and that was during Christmas.
trip. So I'm not sure where we left off because our battery died on us. So what we were talking about was what our favorite was of our 3 trips. And we think it was the second one.
February.
Yeah, January, February.
February of this year.
Crowds level was better and it was our first week-long trip.
Yeah.
So I think that was our favorite. Okay, so real quick. We're going back in 59 days. We made our fast passes yesterday. Quick note, we're also going back in October. We'll be there on Halloween. We're staying at Pop Century again then,
A
so.
Halloween party on Halloween.
Yes, so we
Oh.
already have those tickets. But for this upcoming trip, we leave Saturday, March 30th, and we come back Saturday, April 6th. We're flying this time. We're flying Southwest, so that'll be interesting. That's new for us. We're staying at Art of Animation.
That'll be new.
That'll be new, and we're taking the Magical Express.
That'll
Never
be
done
new.
that before. Not renting a car, nothing. So that'll be interesting. And then let's see, just a little bit. Like I showed you the fast passes we got in this current week vlog. So I'll put that below once it's up. But we yeah, we got a few fast passes. We got actually afternoon fast passes for most days because we want this to be a super chill trip, and we also want to be in the parks at night. Night is
Yep.
preferable to us over mornings. So just the quick overview. Saturday will just be chill. We'll be at the resort. Sunday we're going to spend most of the day at Epcot. We've got Test Track, Spaceship Earth, and Living with the Land fast passes.
Should be the Flower and Garden.
Flower and
Garden.
Gardens, first time we've done that. We're going to pause for a quick second because our water just came back on. Sorry for the interruption, but our water, some of our water anyway, the cold water, is running again, so we had to get up and deal with that. Okay, so I think I had told you about Epcot and our 3 fast passes there. Then Monday is going to be our Magic Kingdom day. That's the only day where we're almost 100% positive we're going to do open to close because it's Magic Kingdom. So we've got Splash Mountain, Haunted Mansion, and Big Thunder Mountain for morning fast passes that day. And then, super excited, 5:25 p.m. Liberty Tree Tavern reservations.
Yeah.
I'm so
Thanksgiving.
excited. Yeah. We've kind of been hesitant about that before because it's such heavy food and then you're going to be in the park. But when we have a whole day and it's going to be dinner, I think that'll be fun. And then Tuesday, we have an 8:35 reservation at Garden Grill.
Which is I'm looking forward to too.
Yeah,
It's another
I'm really-
buffet and what's the big skillet?
Oh, the cinnamon
Cinnamon
roll
roll thing.
skillet. Plus, Mickey's going to be wearing farmer pants.
Mickey
There's
and
just
Farmer
nothing
Pants.
better
Yeah,
than
I know,
that.
you love Mickey and Farmer
Yeah.
Pants.
And then we also have a lunch reservations that day at 1:50 at Beaches and Cream. So excited about that. I mean, burgers and fries and diner
Shakes and
type
whatever,
food
yeah.
and shakes. You can't go wrong. So that day will be between Epcot and Hollywood Studios. Yeah, so we have 2 fast passes, Test Track and Spaceship Earth, between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. Just to get something in, since we'll be at Epcot for breakfast anyway. And then we'll just need to shoot out the back of Epcot and walk over to Beach Club for Beaches and Cream, and then we'll probably end up at Hollywood Studios for a little bit. Epcot does have extra magic
That'll be the
hours.
first 2 that we walked in between parks. And
Yep, to any of
so
those, it'll be
so-
our first park hopping. And then Epcot has extra magic hours till 11 p.m., so we'll probably hit World Showcase again then at the end. Wednesday, we're doing
4-park challenge.
super excited. So our rules are 1 ride, 1 photo pass photo, and 1 snack at each park. So we're planning on rope dropping Magic Kingdom. Then we'll take the monorail over to Epcot. We'll either boat or walk to Hollywood Studios. We do have an afternoon fast pass for Tower of Terror there because Hollywood Studios is tough to get on a ride if you don't have a
released
fast
number
pass.
of rides and they're all pretty popular.
So that's the plan there. And then we're going to Animal Kingdom last. We'll have to bus to Animal Kingdom. And we'll get on some sort of attraction. But then at 8:30, we have an after-hours party ticket.
Yeah. It's 8:30 to 11:30 at night.
And
So-
it's super low attendance. Like,
Yeah.
it's a very low amount of tickets
so
that they
hopefully
sell.
and there's free ice cream, free popcorn,
Free pop and
Pop.
water.
and then hopefully we'll get on like
Flight of Passage and Everest.
and round and round and round.
The only thing that's closed basically is Africa. The rapids, the river rapids are closed,
Yeah,
but the
and the
safari
safari.
is closed because the animals, they don't like to have them have the extra time. And if you know anything about me, I'm good with that. So that's fine, but everything else should be really fun. So we're looking forward to that day for sure. And then Thursday, we have nothing like hard planned in the day. We're going to go to Disney Springs. So my sister and her husband and their 3 boys are coming to Florida at the exact same time as us. They have a timeshare that's just a little ways away from Disney. By a little ways, I mean like 15 minutes up the road. And so they're not going to Disney, but they're going to come and meet us at Disney Springs at some point during that day. So that'll be fun to be there at the same time with them.
That'll be weird to
They're
see.
responsible for getting us into
Yeah.
Disney. And they weren't even really Disney people. My sister just took me to Florida
Because they like Florida.
for a girls' trip, and we went to Disney, and yeah. So that'll be fun. And then we have a 6:45 reservation. I'm really excited about this at Raglan Road. He's not as excited as me because he's not as adventurous, but there's burgers and stuff on the menu. I'm looking forward to fish and chips. I think that's going to be really fun. And then Friday is Hollywood Studios. And we have 3 fast passes, Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster, and Slinky Dog.
Down.
And those don't, 3 p.m. was the earliest one. Because again, I don't want us to have to get up super early.
We want to take a chill day.
Yes, and
see
I want
everything else.
to, yeah, look at all the shops and just, yeah, we haven't done enough of that. Just take everything in. Saturday we go home. But our flight home is until like 7 o'clock at night. So we'll have the morning. I'm sure we'll do something.
And then we have the Magical Express, which gets you there plenty of time. So
I think about 4 o'clock is when we'll have to catch that. So, but we'll have plenty of time. We'll be able to either go get lunch at Disney Springs or pop into one of the parks or something. So that's the gist of the plan. And then yeah, the trip in October.
it's going to be a lot warmer than our other. We've only gone in December and then January,
Gonna be
February.
hot.
So
It's going to be our
It'll
first
probably be
taste of
warm.
like real Florida weather, I think. But that's fine.
So-
The October trip will probably be like that too. We're going the last week of October in through Halloween,
we just remember days like this when it's minus 28
and the bikes are
when
frozen,
we woke up
and the car won't start.
Yeah,
and
so
we're good. We're good with 90 degrees and humid in Florida.
remember that when it's 90.
Yes. But that's it. So that's the trip report and the plans for now. I was just thinking like if we had any tips or anything. I feel like you have to plan, but don't overplan. Find that balance. Be flexible with your plans. Be willing to change things on a whim if you have to. You can't go without planning at all, or you won't get anything done. Disney
Yeah.
just is not that kind of place. But be very flexible and know that 90% of the time, you can change your plans without there really being any penalties or issues. As
And
long
our-
as you know
our
all the
best memories are the random things that we ended up doing. I mean, of course we love the rides and all that, and I love Haunted Mansion, and we wouldn't have got on there. Well, you know, you can get on that one, but
Yes, but-
bad example. But you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Those are great memories. But the time we walked into the yacht club and beach club, we didn't know what to expect, and those are so fond
Great.
memories now.
Great.
Of, and those times of the year it's a little quieter, which
Mhm.
we like, but
Yeah,
I don't know,
so
it'll be a little different this time. But
it'll be busier. We'll also be doing
but that's the thing about when you plan. You want to. Our first couple of trips we planned, which
Yep.
you need to get around. But now that we've kind of done everything
we
really
know our way
wanted to,
around. We know
now
what
we
we're
want to
doing.
have a more relaxing, just check everything out because there's, you can enjoy Disney World in so many facets. You get to
Yeah.
look at all the theming and just look at, you can just sit and look at the hotel lobbies for
Oh,
an
for
hour.
sure. For sure. You're
So-
not going to have a bad trip no matter what, unless you overplan and stress everybody out.
Yeah, and if you say if I don't get on Big Thunder, the
It's going
trip
to
is
ruin
ruined.
my life.
Or,
Yeah.
but
You can't go
can't
into
do
it like that.
way.
Nope. Nope. So that would be really my only tip. But yeah, so finally we did this. We'll do one after our next trip too, and I promise the vlogs from this April trip are going to be better. I'm thinking about getting a new camera. Probably going to get a new camera so I can actually see what we look like when I'm filming, and I'm going to film way more because I was really lax on this last trip. But anyway, I think that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you're still watching.
Snooze fest.
Yep. But yeah, we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.